Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of NC-17. My name is Josh, and today we have director, writer, and probably one of the busiest people in the business that I know or met. We got Matthew Mark Hunter. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for
Uh,
having me on.
oh yeah, no, thank you for coming on. Uh, you do have a lot of movies, which we'll get into some of them. But before we do that, can kind of backstory of was this something you wanted to do as a child? Granted, you're still relatively young. Still, just a little bit of a backstory.
So it really, I was always watching horror films growing up. My parents let me watch really anything. I remember going to like the kindergarten and telling kids about like Freddy Krueger and stuff and getting in trouble for it. Um, but in my seventh grade English class, the teacher was saying to us to like write a story. We get extra credit if we actually film something. I was the only one in the class that filmed something, and I did like a Puppet Master fan film in seventh grade. And everyone thought like the puppets like I made and things because no one's ever seen the film. They don't really watch that kind of stuff because they gave me my parents would buy me like the old toys from back in the day, and that's what I got them from.
Oh yeah,
So that really was my first time into making something. And I think that's really what sparked a big part of it. And then like during like seventh, eighth grade, they really got me into the Puppet Master. My uncle showed me Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys. That's why a lot of the things we do is like bringing toys and random objects to life too. And then he introduced me to Trauma as well with Toxic Avenger, which is where like the bloody horror stuff comes into play also. And then I went to a summer weekend camp thing called Cuyahoga Valley Career Center, and I did like a first official film with like the equipment and things. And then I went back there because it was one of the programs that worked with our high school. So my junior and senior year of high school, I would be there, and then I go back to high school the second half, which I hated going back to the real school when the other school I'm just doing hands-on making movies. And then that program really got me into the movie and MMH. Like that was when we actually started MMH Productions. Uh, we created our logos and things there. We started the Guerrilla Films, first feature film where we won an award at the age of 17. And even then, we were still making horror, bloody horror, 80s style films. And we just always stayed hustling to do it. Like every weekend, me and my friends would get together and shoot something. Um, and then after I left there, I went to CSU for 4 years of film school, which I feel like I shouldn't have really. I really only learned stuff my like last year there with VR and choose your own adventure stuff. I'm more of a hands-on person, and it's like watching videos and stuff, which I can't do. So even then, I was still like filming outside of school. So I just always been, even like in my car, I keep a camera and not camera, I keep like fake blood in the trunk and stuff, and I can just film some stuff with my phone if I find a spot, or like if I go to a hotel, I'll shoot something random just for fun. So I'm just always doing something with it.
oh yeah. Uh, so with your first film at your first award at 17, did you feel that you were already on a path that you wanted to go down, or just like every road, there's bumps in every road?
It was always I knew I never wanted to do like Hollywood really style stuff. Um, I just wanted to really just shoot some horror films and be like my two inspirations always with the horror. Luckily, at the age in the last 2, 3 years or so, I was able to complete two of my main goals because I worked on a full moon film, and then I'm super involved with trauma now. But I'm still like right now where I'm at, I want to just find a job in general in the film career, like an editor or something. And try to make it like an actual job of mine instead of working at a regular 9 to 5 style thing. Because I'm still doing all the film stuff on the side and stuff. But when I started with the CVCC and stuff, it was like film right away. I even was, I almost got a job as a film instructor too last summer, which I was hoping to get because I have a lot of kids on the set and I like teaching them how to work with things. So I thought it would be a perfect combo. I did go to school for like a semester of teaching as well. But really, it's just something with film I just want to be able to do for a living.
Oh yeah. Speaking of trauma, Lloyd Kaufman, would you say he's like uh well he's a genius at what he does. The dude has made a very good life out of trauma. I've seen a lot of trauma, trust me. Would you say that you aim to be kind of on a level of him, or do you just want to make your own way?
We're really just making our own way. We do have things that are like trauma, like low budget, really. But sometimes I do like our project we're post production now on. It was like spending my own money, and it's like really higher quality than a lot of the stuff. But of course, like our last film, Air Fryer Slaughter, all the reviews we're getting is like reviews saying how it's like a dance with trauma's past. It's a very trauma-inspired film. We're shooting on video for it. It's just crazy practical effects and things. Coffin makes an appearance. Um, so a lot of the stuff I like to be like trauma because even for our company, we've had people who first started making movies and they start with MMH in Cleveland, Ohio. And when they start with us, I find them more, we get them out there. So they actually are doing different projects and more projects now. And like even for like the young actors, like 3 and 4, they usually come to us first, and then eventually they'll get their foot out the door. They meet connections through us. So it's really just about helping everyone for us, and we're like a very good starter thing. But everyone does still have to like come back, be in projects. So we have a good reputation with people as well, and the company has a good history. Nothing ever crazy bad affected us. Um, we're really chill, very nice with it, but a lot of the stuff is like Trauma and Full Moon, but a lot of it also has my own taste into things also.
Yeah. All right. So you mentioned air fryer slaughter. Uh, if you can give a little bit of a synopsis, I think the name speaks for itself. But if you can give a little bit of a synopsis and what it was like filming that movie and the cast and crew and just how everything came together.
So Air Fryer Slaughter originally started with I'd done a lot of things in the past. Like I did a blend, a toaster came to life before Air Fryer came out. So we had a killer toaster. We have a couple killer appliances. And then I saw like Matt Skinner made a post saying like if anyone makes a movie with a killer air fryer, he'll help support it and promote it and things like that. And I decided to just make a mock-up poster of it and I put it out there. And eventually it came to be how it is. So we wanted, of course, has to be all practical effects. I didn't want any CGI blood or fake kills because we are also shooting on video. So we shot on the VHS camcorder and then I put it on VCR to edit some of it, transfer the VCR footage to DVD and then DVD to digital. So we really can't even do any of the visual effects because it's not going to link right. So a lot of the like we have like people melting their faces off, someone getting their dick ripped off, the pussy getting destroyed and things. So it's really everything had to be done with makeup, practical. What we can do is what we can do. Um, a lot of the cast were people who've been in past MMH films, and then through Matt Skinner, we got a couple new faces involved to do a couple remote roles, which were great to have everyone involved. It was a big success for that, but it was mostly like some scenes were just like barely written, like it was like writing on the spot for some of them. And I even had the air fryer voice record lines after we shot because I just was writing more stuff. So like the one scene where shooting with the stoners, and a lot of it's just written right there. We were like, let's get a scene with this happens, or like someone wanted a voice role, so he wrote another scene in the film, and it was like, well, here's another kill we can have for the air fryer, which is where we have like 20-ish type of kills in the film, but it's really an air fryer comes to life and is wreaking havoc on the town, really.
All right. Uh, Maybe do you think somewhere down the line you'll have a crossover of all the appliances that have come to life and attack people?
At the end of the air fryer slaughter, like post credit scene, We do a little homage to Slaughter S'mores and the Croutons film where we had the croutons come to life and Slaughter S'mores. And we had a tagline where it was like Air Fryer 2, the Slaughter S'mores versus the croutons. And then we were joking even after that there was ever a part three, it'd be like technology takeover where it all comes to life. But we might just do number two eventually, but that might just be how it ends. We just have made so many films with things coming to life that, and then it'd be cool to get everyone to come back as their voices too and things. But again, it's been talked about for the part two at least for bringing those three franchises together
You also draw a lot of experience I'm taking from zombie films,
here and there.
and because
Eh,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Because it, just from the glimpses I've seen of some other stuff you have online, it kind of looks like that you love to mess around with the effect of zombies attacking people because you like the practical effects.
Yeah, we did a the one that really has the best um zombie practical effects was our when the camera stopped rolling. So we had the one scene, the one person is laying on the ground, and the zombies are eating at him. We had four various tubes throughout his costume and near his face. So when we're shooting the one laying down shot, I have three other people on set ready to blow in the tubes. And the way it was shot, it was just like blood squirting different angles. I mean, the camera I used for all that, it's blood stained to heck and back. I still have to clean it. The tripod stained blood. The camera lenses, not the actual lens itself, but like the whole body of it. The camera's stained. Um, and then we did like the zombies in Nightmares Unleashed, but instead of having it where, super bloody and stuff like that, it was more heavy duty makeup on them. Um, which is again, we're just trying to get a lot of the makeup involved because we like having super cool makeup looks involved with everything. But zombies just a fun way where we can get blood going left and right with it too.
Oh yeah. Uh, so would you say that with you they'll with your films they'll never be CGI? It's always going to be practical effects.
We did really one part where we did like a head explosion for visual effects just because it was impossible to do. Um, and I mean, it looks all right, but for like the blood scenes, we try to always do practical. We done like some green screen stuff for VFX, and then our one new one, we have someone coming out of a TV, so there's like ultra keys that make like their hands all staticky and stuff. But if it comes down to like that stuff is fine for VFX, but not heavy. But if there's ever a time again where I have to do like blood and explosions and stuff, I want to keep it as practical as I can. So we don't really have too much CGI. Um, but yeah, the blood stuff I want to try to always make practical, unless it's like a super tiny thing that we really can't do because we have no budget really.
All right. You have another one out called Pool Toy Shark Frenzy. Now, the cast primarily is a younger cast. Do you find it easier to work with younger people, or is it just, well, not easier? Do you prefer working with younger than older, or just anyone in general?
It's really anyone in general. When we were doing the pool shark, it was the same time as air fryer, and it was like a combine for the Indiegogo. So I was like, air fryer is going to be more like the adult horror film because there's no kids really in that one besides a voiceover. In pool shark, the main cast are children, younger actors. There's some older people, but we try to keep most of the leads younger. A lot of it is just for sometimes it's just kids are creepier they can be. But it's also I like getting because they're the next generation anyway, the next ones to get involved.
Yeah.
So if they start out young and they keep doing it, they're eventually going to turn into adults anyway. And at least now they have the background. Um, a lot of the kids know when they come on set. Sometimes they even ask if they're going to get bloody. They get excited for it because they know how we are, which is awesome to hear because we've made a lot of young actors red stained from it with scenes. But it's always like a safe set. It's always fun. Like a lot of times when we had like 4, 5, 6 year olds would like do a little small break. The one scene we like played fake baseball for like a 20-minute break where we did like tag and stuff. Just a way for them to just relax, get all the energy out too and just have fun. It's more makes the set more relaxed. I try to always have younger actors involved because like brothers and sisters in films, killing a kid is also people get more shock value when I kill children in films or dogs as well or cats. Sometimes I have kids as the killers. Like we did a whole feature film anthology. Each story has a young actor as the lead role, either as like the killer or fighting against the monster. So a lot of it also is just to get them more experience in movie making too before they fully go into it.
All right. Uh, would you say that in film today there's that like Hollywood relies way too much on the CGI and that independent is kind of like making a run for better effects and like because practical effects are always going to be better. But would you say that the independent scene has taken a giant step forward in the last 5 years?
I would say it's getting bigger out there. Some films for indie are getting more released. We obviously see people who are okay with it. Um, I mean, a lot of the newer stuff doesn't do too much practical. I know like The Substance when it came out was practical for the monsters and stuff, and that just looked way better than what it could have been for CGI. So that one had really good body horror in it. But a lot of the indie circuit, hopefully, more people will help get them out there. Because like if we got for MMH, say like $100,000 given to us from a company, we can make like 3, 4 crazy films with that kind of money. Because we do crazy stuff with just a grand or not like $100 and stuff. Um, a lot of the horror films could really, you don't need a huge, huge budget because you're not going to get known stars. Um, like a lot of the indie films, they don't have like A-list actors and people are still going to see them because they always say like if you have A-list actors on your film, you're gonna get more people to see the movie, which I hopefully is how it goes for the new Toxic Avenger that comes out in August.
Yes.
At least that one hopefully has some good practical and crazy stuff in it, which I hope will get more people to see it too. Because even Hollywood stuff, they keep relying on like PG-13 horror,
Yeah.
where it's like they show the kill, but they don't actually show the kill. They'll have like sound effects and like a reaction shot, and I want to be able to see what's happening. Like the Five Nights at Freddy movies, I know it was more a younger audience, but like when the cupcake's attacking someone, I want to see their face get mauled apart. I don't want to just hear it in their feet moving. If you can, because they have the money, if you can show it, show it. Um, and then like even everything changes with the world. So even like back in 80s and 90s, stuff that would be R rated was rated PG. So everyone's just getting more like tame to stuff. And I think it's just be like the rating system is so jacked up as it is already. I just wish more horror started doing more R-rated and less PG-13 horrors and just go crazy with it. Show the effects and blood, just go nutty with it.
All right. Uh, Speaking of like Hollywood movies not delivering and stuff like that, have you seen that movie Tarot?
No.
Okay, so I'm a big horror fan. I love horror movies, so I watch, everything I can get my eyeballs on. But Tarot was they hyped it up as something and it way under delivered, you know. So I get what you're saying when it's like, you got this, but you don't deliver, and then you got this and it does deliver. So to me, Hollywood has taken a step back, independent has taken a step forward, and it's because of directors and actors such as yourself, because you guys do it for the love of the art. You don't, I mean, everyone wants to get paid. Let's not
Hmm.
play ourselves, but you guys do it more so because you have an outlet and you have a passion and you want to do it. So my hat's always going to be off to the independent scene because people like you and the actors and writers and stuff, because you guys are killing it right now. So
Yeah, we don't have to like for us, I don't have to worry about like a film company saying you have to dial it back or like the rating systems like can't show that. It's like I really don't give a damn what you say because I'm going to do it anyway. If you guys aren't going to show it, other people are going to watch it. For us, it's still all about the exposure. Like we have stuff on Trauma now, and I don't care about the money for it. I'd rather just get more people to see it. That's why we're trying to also do Tubi soon, because I'd rather just have more people know about MMH than us just receive the money, because that can always come later. The more exposure you get is always better because it's more people to watch it, more people will buy the DVDs, um, and just keep checking you back more for stuff if they like it.
All right. You hit the convention scenes, right? Here, go to conventions and stuff.
Yeah, I go to conventions just as a walking around and stuff, and then sometimes I'll go to cons and set up a table and sell stuff. Or even if I don't have a table, I'll have a backpack full of my movies, and I'll have a post saying, "If you come find me, I have some stuff with me," type of thing. But yeah, I go to some.
All right. That to me, like the convention scene seems to be more of a place for the independent director, unless it's something like Motor City Comic Con and stuff like that. But I mean, there are certain like conventions that play to the better part of independent film. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, a lot of them are like a lot of the booths you see at like main horror ones. It's like here's the company who made these movies, and then you buy them. The biggest draw is really the celebs they get at some of the conventions, and even then, those prices keep going up in price. It's like, am I really going to spend 60, $80 on this one autograph, or am I going to get save that and I can get so much more stuff with it? Because a lot of our stuff, movie wise, DVDs are like 10 to 20 for us sometimes, or even we have $5 movies. So try to keep it as less as we can, just because we still make everything ourselves. Like we don't go through a DVD distributor. Like I'll make the DVD box art. I just buy cases. I make the labels and stuff. So everything's run through here, and then it goes out there too. So it's really just trying to make some cash with it, but everything's just going up in price for conventions with meeting the people, and even like the booth prices are going up still too.
Oh yeah. Uh, so you being in film and doing horror movies, is your family supportive? Does your family watch your movies? Do they like horror movies, or how's that go?
Um, it's always been supportive since the start of it. Um, a lot of a lot of everyone in my family has been in my movies really. Um, I've had my dad in some projects. We killed him off. My grandparents have been in movies. My aunt and uncles have been in movies. So cousins. So everyone's really cool with it. They enjoy it. Again, like my uncle was the one who got me into Full Moon and Trauma. So thanks to him, it's really everything happened. We've killed him off. He's played a bunch of roles. A bunch of my pets have been in movies, even though it's not really supportive, but everyone's really had a cake um, in it. Like my grandpa's played Santa before. Cousin plays an elf. So it's just like round. Even when we started out to begin with, I didn't have like the network and actors I had, so it was still bringing your family to play roles and close friends in their family. But everyone still like supports it. They'll watch the movies, so everyone's just real cool with it.
Oh yeah. Is there for you personally, is there a dream project you haven't done yet that you want to do?
I've had a lot of stuff written that's still like I have no time to like produce it and make it because I have so much other stuff going on with life and movies. Luckily, we finally got Nightmares Unleashed completed. We're about to wrap that up, and that was like my passion project because we did a short film back in 2018 of it, and I always wanted to make a feature and have a part two to it. Luckily, we're finally gonna get that done, and that's like my baby, huge passion baby project, whatever. That one's coming out, but like I had a film written about serial killer anthology, and that had like a real life backstory of one of the serial killers, and had like five other shorts I really wanted to do, and I really want to do fairy tales and folklore with another anthology where it's just about fairy tales, but MMH style and horrorized. And a lot of the stuff is just going to be in the writing mode or pre-production till whenever I have time. But like this summer, we're mostly going to focus on Nightmares Unleashed 2 finally. And like another one I've always wanted to do was Gum. which would probably be the heavily, um, it would have to be heavily that one like CGI monster for it type of thing, or a way we could do it practical. But that one I've had written down an idea of it where like a giant gum monster comes to life. So we have a lot of stuff we've always wanted to do. It's just time wise.
All right. Uh, so granted that you're 24, right?
Yeah.
All right. So at 24 years old, having so many films under your belt and just like everything that's going on, if you can go back to when you were 10 and tell yourself something at 10 that you know now, what would it be?
I would say the first thing is when you first started out and you win your first like feature film award for like the at the young age, just don't be cocky. Um, because it happened a lot when I first won that. Because at that age, it's the first thing you think of, and I was cocky at points. Um, and it did hurt me a little bit, but luckily I grew out of that phase best I could. Um, but I definitely would tell them don't be cocky and just who to really. I tell myself who to stay away from in the long end too.
Yeah.
Um, I'd say just keep doing what you're doing and make sure you just keep making connections really and go to a college that is different.
All right. Uh, so you've worked with Lloyd Kaufman, you've worked with Jessa Flux, and numerous other people. Is there a person you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with?
Um, for the original Nightmares, we were in talks with two celebrities, and I still have their email. So I might be bringing them back for like Nightmares 2 if I can get a hold of them. Ira Heiden from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. We emailed him about it. He couldn't make it out to be the dad for it, but he said to keep him in mind for like voice roles and stuff. And then the other big one was Phil Fondacaro from Troll and Ghoulies 2 and all that. Because I met him and I got his information. I sent him the script for it. Just things couldn't work out well. So I'm going to try to get him to be also involved with part two in some way or form. But he's like my main one to get for sure. Um, and then just see what happens from there, really. It's just harder because I'm mostly focused on like the story and makeup and stuff, like where the money goes, because I know a big part of it's going to be hotel stay, travel expenses, and thing like that. And still being as low budget as we are, it's just harder because it's also going to come out of my own pocket. So hopefully he is the one we want to get the most. And I've reached out to like I think it's Michael Ray from the Willies because the Willies is like my horror film that made me want to make horror movies. So anything from the Willies, I like to have people involved in that to come on set best we can. So it's really just people who I influence me the most, really.
Oh yeah. What advice would you give to anyone who's trying to get into the industry at any age, whether it be child all the way to adult? What advice would you give them?
The biggest advice I'd say is just film something. You know, everyone has a phone really these days. All you need is a phone to make a movie. Um, just like if I had like we had a mini camcorder, we took literally everywhere with us. Um, so like every weekend we'd like get hear someone else take the camcorder and just shoot some stuff. So I just recommend just shooting some stuff. You know, it can be like a let's say you just want to shoot a scene from a movie you liked, just shoot it your way. Um, Post it out there. You know, you might get a couple of views, but just keep doing it. Just don't be scared and just try to do the best you can with what you have. Everyone starts somewhere. Um, just have fun doing it because if you're not having fun, then there's no point to actually do it. Because with our stuff, we just always have fun in every set. The editing won't be the funnest part, but the shooting, it's always fun with everyone together and surround yourself with the people you actually like and want to work with because we've had times where it's like we didn't like the vibes of someone on the set and they never came back. Like I don't invite them back or I don't tell them about anything. So it's just like um, surround yourself with the people you like. that you can work with, and then just always have fun and shoot something.
All right. We got about 8 minutes left. Do you want to take a couple minutes and plug all your socials where people can see your films and stuff and how they can reach out to you?
Yep. So you can reach out to us on Instagram, MMH_productions, Facebook, Matthew Mark Hunter. Our email is hunter.matthew88@gmail.com. We have our YouTube channel, MMH Productions, and we have our kids show channel, which is Wonderful World of Fun, um, which is basically just the G-rated telling kids stories with puppets and stuff. It's like Sesame Street mixed with Reading Rainbow. So we have that for every family audience. Um, we have movies on Trauma Now. You can just type in Matthew Mark Hunter MMH Productions. We have 10 of them that will come up. We're trying to get on Tubi, but really just follow us online at Instagram, Facebook. Reach out to email or just text me if you want to like see our movie library that we have on DVD to order some. We also have some on eBay. We can send you the link to better shipping fees for it. So yeah, we just have all those ways to reach out and just contact us. If you're in the area, you can be on set, have an acting role. If it's your first time ever, you can reach out to us. Like, hey, I want to be involved. I can get you a voice role in a movie, voice role in some kind of project if you want to just get your foot in the door with it. And if you're in the Ohio area, we can definitely get you involved in the set and get you connections through that way and get you started in the business. So we've worked with people with mental and physical disabilities, all ages. We work with really anyone who wants to get their foot involved. We'll try to write them a script that, or it's a character that works with their availability. Like if someone's like in a wheelchair, we'll write your character where it's easier to do the scenes. Um, because we've had many different types of people, and we'll just keep doing it that way. Just because we're open to everyone and anyone to have a good time on set and just get their foot in the door.
All right. Uh, so one last question before we go. 10 years from now, where would you like to see yourself?
Um, I like to see myself as like an indie name, I would say. Kind of like cult style, cult classic type of thing where people are like, have you seen that one MMH film type of thing or something like that? I like to get um, better puppeteer equipment. I try to make like my puppets and toys and stuff move with like robotic type of things more than just me using my arms and stuff. Um, I want to be more involved with, of course, Troma and Full Moon the most I can, um, and just make MMH a bigger household name, really.
All right. Well, Matthew, I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for accepting the invite. It has been a blast. And definitely, I'm going to tell everybody now, definitely check out Air Fryer Slaughter. It was a very good movie. I'm actually going to do a review on it in a day or two. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. But it has been a blast, my friend, and thank you for sharing your story and your love for movies.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me on, talking to me. I'm glad you enjoyed Air Fryer Slaughter. And I'll send you a link when it gets done for like Nightmares Unleashed, just so we can have some people check it out and things too, just to get the momentum going for it.
All right, sounds good. All right, everybody, until next time, stay NC-17.